welcome to Season 2 of Once Upon a Surgery. I'm the host, Carrie Berlet, with the world-renowned plastic surgeon, Dr. Anthony Berlet. Today, we have an amazing guest, the gorgeous Jackie. This is our first ever before situation where she was actually a child. And I wonder if you could even guess what surgery she's had and how we're gonna hear all about how it has transformed her life and how she reconnected with Dr. Berlet. And I'm very excited to have you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming,
Thank you for
Jackie.
having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to Once Upon a Surgery. So, and I actually connected with Jackie through Instagram. And so Jackie had a surgery that was 18 years ago, we think, right? And you're so young.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait, how is this possible? I
know.
And look how beautiful she is. So tell me about, what you had done and what your life was like before and what brought you to the decision to actually get the surgery.
Okay, so when I was 8 years old, I had my ears pinned back.
Okay.
What that involves is my ears stuck out a lot, and then it just pins your ears back, brings them more flush to your head. So growing up, I always kind of struggled with my ears sticking out. I had kids in school making comments about it. And
Were they really? And
Yeah,
so, would you not wear your hair just were you self-conscious about it?
Yeah, I definitely was self-conscious. And I guess what really put that first idea in my head was my mom, actually. Sometimes it's your family. But my mom actually had the same procedure done when she was 8 years old.
No way.
Yeah, so she already had that.
She saw that you had inherited.
Yeah, her same ear gene.
Okay.
So she already kind of put that in my head to be like, oh, well, if you ever wanted to do something about it, there is an option, which isn't bad because she went through it herself.
Okay.
So I was
and it's amazing then that surgery has existed, for so long, and they were
so many years.
Right.
Yeah, it's incredible. So, of
course, as a kid, when your mom points it out, then I'm sure that's all you can see, right?
Exactly. And then after that, my friends in school, it wasn't in a malicious way, because at that age, you don't really have an understanding of bullying or being malicious in that aspect. But it was more of like, oh, your ears stick out. Oh, you look so cute, like Dumbo, things like that.
Right.
That it wasn't. Like I said, it wasn't malicious or anything like that coming from school. However, my sister, she,
big sisters do. There's always, sisters can be mean.
Siblings.
They say it like it's real, like it is. Yes.
So we were in the pool swimming, and when you're swimming, your hair's down, flush, to your head, and she was like, you look like Dumbo. And, that it was like, oh, she's being mean. So I remember I ran inside to my mom and I was like, I want to do the surgery. I don't want to deal with this. Because then you start getting to an age where you realize that they can be mean, or that bullying is a thing. Because like I said, when you're a little kid, that isn't a thing. Mm-hmm. It's everyone. No one has a biased opinion on other people. It's just everyone. You're just little kids playing, and it's innocent. But then as you get older, that's when the opinions start coming out.
They can really use it to hurt you.
Yeah. So I was like, and wise of me for being 8 years old and kind of clocking that, because I was like, oh yeah, I want to get this done and over with as early as possible.
Right, and especially because your mother had done it, so you felt like, okay, this is something that is possible, and again, she had done it at the same age even. And so had she just told you it that year, or was it something?
I don't remember exactly.
I mean, you're so young. Yeah,
but I remember it was kind of like a conversation that we were going back and forth about for maybe a year or so.
Okay.
Because she was like, hey, maybe this is something you might want to look into, and I was like. And I think we did actually go see Dr. Berlet first and did talk to him about it. But I was like, I don't know. And my dad was like, leave it alone. Who cares? As dads are. They're like, But then I was experiencing other things, in my life and how I felt. And I was like,
and you mentioned you did dance at one point.
So I actually was really, really athletic when I was younger. I did cheerleading, gymnastics, and dance. It was crazy. And the problem is you always have your hair up, slicked back,
Right.
and so you can see the ears really well, and especially you're on a stage. There's cameras everywhere, and for me, that was another huge reason
Sure,
for me
of
to
course.
want to get that done. And I have to say, it was like one of the best decisions I ever
Really?
made. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I mean, now you do modeling of sorts, and
Yeah.
obviously very attractive. I mean, and you have full hair,
Yeah.
but again, can we just see,
Yeah.
like, yes, I mean, they look amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just wonder, again, I'm sure you have a different confidence than you
Yeah.
would have had,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, luckily, I think 8 is an age, it's before, again, people just point things out as observations before they're really using it against you, I
Exactly,
think. I mean,
yeah.
for the most part, it sounds like,
Yeah.
other than your sister.
Yeah, other than my sister, yeah.
It's like so funny. And do you remember what the recovery, like if it hurt? I mean, you
Yeah,
were just,
so-
you weren't put under, right?
I was.
You were put under,
Yes,
okay.
yes, I was. So I remember everything about it, actually. So I remember going in and I explained, what I wanted. My main thing was I want to be as natural as possible. I don't want anyone to know that I've ever had this done.
Okay.
And to this day, when I tell people that I've had plastic surgery, they're like, on what? Like, what are you talking about? And I was like, my ears. It's such like a odd thing because you don't hear it very
Yeah.
often.
Right.
But yeah, so I went in, Dr. Berlet was like, this is a piece of cake, no worries. So that made me feel really comfortable, like from the beginning. And then you just go in, you get put under. I think it took like 2 hours, 2.5
Okay.
hours, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
And then I woke up and I went home, and I remember I was home from school for like a week, and the recovery wasn't bad. I was just like, take some Tylenol and rest.
Okay, and do you have something around your head as you're recovering?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they band-aid your head, and I actually looked like a Q-tip. My whole family was like,
Was it around Halloween? Because you could have just been.
I wish.
You could be a Q-tip for Halloween.
Yeah, really. So actually, my whole family was like, you look like a Q-tip, your Q-tip head, blah, blah, blah. So that was, yeah. So but it wasn't bad. It came off, stitches came out, and then that was that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at 8, you can miss a week of school. It's not such a big deal.
Not a big deal.
right?
They have you like coloring, right?
Right.
It's like,
And did your friends, so at 8, that's so young, did your friends notice? Did you tell them what you had done?
Yeah,
Or did you?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So when I went back to school, I told my friends, and all the kids in my class were like, oh my God, let us see. Like, they were so, like, intrigued by it.
I'm
It was really
sure.
cool. I definitely got lucky, like, with the kids I was in school with and the people that I was friends with. And I was very lucky, I have to say, because, some people, like, go through procedures or something like that, and you have a very different opinion on it.
Right.
Or you get people that are like, oh, like, why would you do that? Or sometimes, the kids' parents would put things in the kids' heads to be like,
Yeah.
oh, her mother would let her
Or
do
judging,
that. Or
yes.
judging. Or like, you could have kids even come up to you and be like, oh, my mom said, like, you got, like, something done. Like, that's not right. But luckily, I did not experience that.
Okay.
And I'm so happy that I
Yeah,
didn't. Because
right.
I've heard stories of other people experiencing that. I mean,
Yeah,
even if
I
you,
know with like noses that happens sometimes at
yeah.
young ages, and yeah.
Yeah, like, that's actually a really great example. I know a girl like in middle school, and she had her nose done, and people were like, oh my gosh, she got her nose done.
Right.
It's like, who cares?
I know. I think sometimes as a kid, like the best thing is to just be open about it, because otherwise they're just going to be whispering.
That's
like,
the-
and it's like,
that's
just
the
get it
thing.
out in the open. Yep, I did my ears, and like,
Yeah.
what would
Yeah, I completely agree. I think being open and honest about things is the best way to go about it, especially with like getting work done. It's like,
Yeah.
People try to be like, oh, you were insecure, you had to get your ears done, and it's like, I actually feel great. Like, I'm
Right.
so happy. It was something that, really gave me confidence to be who I am. And I would even, look at other girls like growing up who their ears would stick
Right.
out that I would do like cheerleading with or gymnastics with. And I would hear like other kids whispering about it. And I was
Oh,
like,
wow. Did you ever talk
not
to them
me.
about like, by the way, like I did this, or
I don't.
you probably don't want to make it might
I
make
don't-
them feel
yeah.
insecure,
Yeah, because
right?
I know like how I felt when I was little, how people would point it out and be like, oh, your ears stick out. But like I said, it wasn't in a malicious way, but still hearing
Yeah.
that, it's kind of like, if you think about like with people's weight loss, to be like, oh, you look really skinny. Oh, you look good. You lost some weight. And it's like, just don't even say it, you know? It's like, just leave it alone. So I feel like that was kind of the same aspect, and me especially knowing how I felt growing up. That, you know, I was, you know, I've spoken about it like in general with or around those people, but not being like, hey, you want Dr. Berlet's number? I think you may need it.
Right, I know. It's a shame because some people may not, you know, have the knowledge that it is an easy fix, or you know, I mean, again, I don't know if they don't have the resources, but you're like, hopefully this can open, just, you know, introduce the idea to other people who might have that.
I really I agree with that. Like, I'm very lucky that I had the resources and I was able to get it done. And also too, like a supportive family behind me about it, because like I said, a lot of people look at plastic surgery from a very like dark standpoint. Luckily for me, everyone was like, good for you, this is amazing, so happy for you. So I was very lucky in that aspect.
I mean, and you do have gorgeous hair, so I wonder, you know, it's like, it would only really be when you had your hair, you know, hair up, but for all this, as a dancer, cheerleader, like that is, like it's always in a ponytail or a bun, and so that is a much, you know, that part of your life, or even like formal events too.
Exactly. So I'm lucky.
I'm remembering I did water polo in college, and then one of them, like, she had, like, the ears were, like, were out.
It's like you notice those things. And it's like no one really says anything because it's not like, oh my gosh, well, it's not a huge thing, but it is something that people do notice.
Right.
And especially for me, when I was younger, my sister and my mom was bringing us to do different, like, commercial work and modeling work in the city. And, it was also too around that time I had my ears done, and they will pick you apart like no tomorrow. So I was like, at least I got this fixed and out of the way, so they couldn't. So.
And do you remember, was there any impact on your hearing after the surgery? Nothing. Okay.
Nothing like that. Even my scarring was so minimal. Like it was really
because you can't, I don't see anything. Right?
I think I believe I had stitches up the inside, like this top part of my ear, and then in the back. Because I think we just like reshaped a little in the top, and then in the back of the ear was like to pull it back. But honestly, like this, like the scarring, like I said, very minimal. I barely had anything. Like, I don't remember even seeing anything.
Do you remember being, like, for that week when you were recovering with the Q-tip?
My Q-tip.
Was it painful, or like?
It wasn't. I don't think it was anything out of like you know, it wasn't like memorable. Nothing bad. So
Awesome. And I want to talk to Dr. Berlet about what exactly was involved with the procedure, and also, I know, because she's here, let's talk to your sister about, about what she remembers. Let's bring Caitlin on. All right, so we're back with Jackie's sister, Caitlin, who was, you know, the impetus, I think, that like made Jackie get the surgery done when she did, which we think is probably a good thing. But like, do you remember as her sister, like, I know you made that one final, the Dumbo comment, but like before, when she was younger, would you look at her ears and like,
I knew that she kind of had that insecurity. So for me to see that, it was almost like I was pushing her to kind of go forward with it. Because I felt, in my head at that time, I thought that this was something that was going to help her in the long run. Just because I knew that she already felt so insecure about it then, that she was going to eventually want to do something. So why not do it sooner than wait for it? And she is clearly very happy with her decision. So
and it's something so minor, you know, I mean, not like, I feel like, you know, there's certain parts where it's a bigger commitment to make, but it's like, and especially your mother having had the surgery,
it almost gave her a sense of like security to be able to be like, okay, this isn't going to be so bad. If mom went through it, I can go through it too. I mean, and I'm sure your mother, like, she immediately saw, oh, those are my ears when she was born. Absolutely. I was thinking about, like, sometimes you have people who have had their nose done, you know, and then like you're used to this nice nose, and then they have the baby, and you're like, oh, there's my, well, they can also have my nose. Literally.
It's like,
I see, it's so funny you say that because on Instagram, I'll see like people that get like their nose done or something and they're like, your future kids are gonna be mad at you. Because your husband has no idea what it really looks like.
right? I know. That is a thing. But they can have the same nose eventually, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
funny. But and you guys you said some modeling and acting as kids?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like commercial stuff. So we got, my mom went through somebody who was kind of in charge of getting us to where we needed to go. And we went here into the city and had it done. And they do definitely pick you apart at every little thing. So I think that, having Jackie having the surgery done, it was definitely something that helped kind of to her advantage in that aspect.
Yeah.
And you would book sometimes gigs as siblings and
No, because
Not really.
honestly,
No.
so for us, like when we were younger, seeing that, how harsh they were, and the way that they pick everything apart, it's very unsettling for like a young girl.
Right.
And at
Have
that
a lasting
point,
impact for sure.
yeah, so I know my mom was like, we're just gonna give it a break because to a degree, like they're like, oh well, like they'll just say nasty things to you, and it's like it's to them second nature, like these agents, and it's like, but then for me, I mean, Caitlin, she was kind of like not super into it, and she
It wasn't
kinda
really
just-
my
it
thing
wasn't her
as a
thing.
kid. I
Okay.
was kind of more just
because you say
like-
you're more the tomboy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely more
Yeah.
the tomboy than, the glamorous, beautiful,
The dancer,
Yeah.
cheerleader.
Yeah, so and also for me, that's when I was really into gymnastics and cheerleading, and I just wanted to focus on cheerleading.
Right, yeah.
But then as I got older, like as an adult, that's when I really like fell right back into doing modeling and
Right.
fashion
I'm
shows.
sure people see you and say, "Oh, you should model,"
all the,
all the
all
time.
the time.
Yes.
Yeah, my coworkers.
Especially you have such amazing eyes.
Thank
and-
you,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
My coworkers, they're like, oh my gosh, you should model, and I'm like, well, funny you say that. I'm like, I
Right.
used to a lot.
Yeah. I know.
And I do brag to like my friends and my coworkers that have never met my sister before, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I have a sister." They're like, "Wait, you have a sister?" I'm like, "Yeah, look," and they're like, "Oh my gosh, she's so pretty." I'm like, "I know."
Wow, this casting up, thanks guys. That's so nice. Wow.
But yeah, and I feel like again, it's good that like even though it was sort of felt mean at the time, you probably did change her life a little bit, like
Yeah,
making her like
absolutely. Yeah.
motivating her to get the surgery at a
Yeah.
young age before. Because I just think it does change you if you've been bullied as a child. You somehow bring that trauma along
Absolutely,
with you.
because
you
it's
know?
something, especially
Yeah.
when it comes to your looks. Like if somebody
Yeah.
is always picking at you, like when I was really little, I had super tight curly hair, and people used to walk up to me and they would just pull on my curls and yank on my curls all the time, and they would make little jokes about it, calling me Shirley Temple or little things like that. And to me, I was like, it was almost like I was being picked on too. So as I got older in my teenage years, I was constantly straightening my hair, not realizing the damage that it was going to do in the long run. But, it definitely sticks with you as you get older because it's something of your self-conscious that you think about
Right.
all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those comments. So
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not
Right.
fun to go through it,
Right.
but I'm like I said, I'm happy that and then like I ended up doing it. It's just a fun little story on how my big sister was the one who pushed me over the edge.
Right.
Yeah.
But you guys seem like you have a great relationship.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here today
Yes.
with her if it didn't,
Yeah, I
happen.
dragged her out of the house today. I was like, come on, let's go.
Yes, right. I know. And you can thank her for, again, I mean.
It's funny how life goes.
Yeah.
You don't realize how like one action may project the rest of your life. Or I mean that even goes with like people's words. Like example in this situation, like how one person said, "Oh, look, it's Dumbo," and then in the future it's like, "Oh, they went and got like surgery done to like correct this," and it's like. It kind of makes you really sit there and think to realize, like, wow, maybe you should really think. They teach you when you're little, think before you speak.
Yes, it's so true.
But it's so true, and I think that's like a really important thing, to take with you. I mean, for me, it worked out in the end because it was a good thing. But
right.
In general, it's still something that I went through when I was only 7, 8 years old. And for 7, 8-year-old, you're a baby. It's crazy.
Of course. I mean, it's crazy that you even remember that, but I think it was just, like certain memories stick with you and it just had such an impact on your life.
Yeah, I definitely have like a crazy memory, and I think especially something that big in my life, was something that I'll never forget.
Totally.
Yeah, and it makes me think too. I'm like, one day, like when I have kids, you know, if they inherit my ears, I'm like, what is gonna happen?
Yes.
You know, but I'm like, I'll just cross that bridge when we get there. You know,
Right.
if they want to do it, hey, why not? But if they don't, fine with me either way.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Leave
I
it
think,
up to them.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, to make it, especially as a child, like leave it to be their decision.
And I think it's funny too, because even though I did pick on her, because you know siblings pick on each other.
Of
when we're
course.
kids, I was the most defensive older sibling when it came to other people.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
Only you are allowed to pick on them. They can't.
Exactly, yeah. And, you know, for her, it was like when I would hear people make comments about her ears or, you know, anything in general, I'd be like, hey, that's not nice, don't say that. And me and her only like 2 years and 11 months apart from each other or something like that.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah, so we're kind of close in age, so for me it was like, that's my little sister, you know, don't pick on my little sister. But,
Right,
you know,
yes.
I was the one over here kind of instigating and poking a little bit, but
Right.
not to say she hasn't done
That's
her
the
fair
role
share,
of
but-
sisters, yes. Yep. And then I love, so we'll get Dr. Berlet on in a second. I love that then later in life how you ran into him recently, and he just told me this story.
Yes, oh my gosh. So I, at the hospital that I work at now, it's a local hospital by me, and I'm a phlebotomist now, and I'm in radiology school. So I was just walking down the hallway at work, and I just see Dr. Berlet. And what's so funny is that same hospital is where I had my ears done.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's where you work
And that's where I work. That was the hospital I was born at.
Wow.
That's where I work now. And then I had my ear surgery there. And then I see him just standing in the hallway, and I walk up to him. I'm like, hey, I mean, I don't know if you remember me, but
You look a little different now.
Yeah.
You were 8 years old, but you had it done, right?
Exactly. I was like, but I'm like, I don't know if you remember me, but when I was 8, you did my ears, and he immediately was like, let me see these things. Like, it's so funny. You
Let
know?
me see my work.
Yeah,
Years down the road.
exactly. So, so it was
That's
so funny. It
amazing.
was so funny, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you look so great," you know. So it was such a random thing, because obviously I follow you guys on Instagram
Yeah.
and everything. And then I just run into him. I'm like, "Oh my
Right.
gosh, what a funny!"
And you recognize it. Well, I guess because you see us on Instagram.
yeah, but he looks the same.
Right.
I'm like, he looks the same.
He's always the same.
yeah. So it was definitely like really funny. I was like, what a small
Comes
world.
full circle.
It
and it's what's
does.
funny is I feel like there are other like patients that like they are all he runs into them in the hospital often. You
Yeah,
know, I mean he's
yeah.
so prolific. We run into patients everywhere. But
Yeah, it's such a funny thing, but I just like couldn't believe it. I was like, after I haven't seen him in I don't know how many years, because I'd like stop in and ask him like, oh, what do you think about this or that. So I probably haven't seen him since I was like 18. I want to say. So it's been a long time. What, like 6 years
Right.
around there, 7
Okay.
years. It's been a long time. but,
Right.
yeah.
And I know you were mentioning that you've asked him like, oh, should I do this? Should I do this? And he's constantly saying no, right?
Yeah,
I mean, again,
yeah.
you don't need anything. You're 25 years old. But so I love that, right?
Yeah, that's honestly the one thing like I really respect about him, is because, you know, a lot of these doctors, plastic surgeons will be like, sure, whatever, cut. That's all they want to do. But I went to him to be like, oh, like, should I get this done? Because I also had scoliosis surgery done when I was 15. So it's major surgery. I think that's why my ear pinning surgery to me was like, whatever, because I went through such an intense surgery like after the fact.
Right.
So with scoliosis, it really like kind of throws off your whole alignment of your body. So as women, you always have like one breast that's larger than the other, but from the scoliosis, it really enhances that look.
Okay.
So I went in when I was 18, and I was like, I just don't like how it looks. And he was like, come back to me in like 10 years. He was like, because your body's going to change. He was like, you're not always going to look like this, and I'm not going to touch you and do this to you. There's no point right now. So I was like, okay. And then here we are now, I'm 25, but even a couple years after that, when I was 22, 21, and your body does change, I was like, it's not even noticeable. Like, you can't even notice it anymore. And I was like, wow. Like,
so that's great that I mean, because he could have just, oh, okay, sure, here's money, why don't I, you know, but
exactly.
he, again.
So that's something I like really appreciated. Because like I said, they just want to cut most
Yep.
of the time. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Right. That was actually, I don't know if you know the story, but because I had met him like years before we ended up dating, and he had actually turned me down too for a tummy tuck.
Really? No way. That's so funny. See? Okay.
I know. But so you respect the doctor almost more who says no, right?
Yes, I absolutely do. Because it
literally
saved me
tells
an
you-
unnecessary procedure.
Exactly.
In the long run.
You're so naturally beautiful.
Yes.
Thank
Yes. You're such a good sister.
No, guys. Now she's being nice because she's on camera just to redeem herself. Just to redeem herself.
No, I'll be honest. Like, if when it comes to a lot of people, I've either gotten it's crazy polar opposites. Either you look like twins or you don't look anything alike to each other.
The hair color can throw them like they're like
And the eye color too. She's piercing blue eyes.
Right.
I'm over here with brown eyes,
Uh-huh.
and she's significantly taller than I am.
Right.
So there's differences, but I do feel like even my mom has said it years and years and years. Your sister or your sibling is your best friend.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, she asked all her friends if they could come today, and they were all like, "Sorry, can't make it."
Right.
And who's with you?
Yes.
Your sister.
Of course.
So-
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, well, let's get Dr. Berlet on to talk about it. Thank you, Caitlin. This is the first sibling we've ever had on. I love you guys. So cute. Okay, so we're back with Dr. Berlet, and I specifically have not asked any questions because I want to hear real time what is involved with an ear pinning. And she was put under. Would you still put under today? Has anything changed? Like what is involved?
I do it under local, but
Okay.
she was 8 years old at the time, and
Yeah.
everybody's a little bit different.
Okay.
But I've had done it on 8-year-olds under local anesthesia, but not typically.
Right. I'm sure it's a lot for a little kid, right?
And surprisingly, ears are pretty painful.
Okay.
The process is pretty painful.
Okay.
And somehow the little girls tolerate it better than the older men. So it's
Really?
interesting, yeah.
Okay, and so what exactly, and then are you at all concerned about loss of hearing or what's involved with the surgery?
It has nothing to do with that.
Okay,
So, the ear is cartilage
okay,
covered with skin.
okay,
So the shape of the cartilage can be molded, but it has to be molded by scoring it on one side, and it contracts on the other side, so you have to sort of plan that. Then you have to put stitches in to hold it in position. You can cut certain parts of the cartilage out if the contral bowl, which is the inside of the ear, pushes the ear out a lot. And then there's something here called the anahelical fold. That anahelical fold, a lot of people don't have that. And those are the ones that have the cupped ear.
okay. So wait, so can you show from her ear? Because to me it feels
Wow,
like,
that's a really good job.
if you do say so yourself,
Well,
because to me
if you
it
look at
feels
her
like,
ear, if you can look at the camera a little bit,
Okay.
you can see this is the helix, this is the outside of the ear. This is the antihelix, which is a curve on the inside of the ear. And this is the one that's missing on a lot of people. And the contral bowl is on the inside, and that can also push it out. So the idea is to recreate this roll. We do that by scoring the anterior surface of the cartilage here and putting stitches behind it that hold that roll, and then we can take out some of the bowl.
so you cut this ear and then like you're stitching it there? Okay.
We cut behind it, and I put a little incision up here so I can undermine the cartilage right over this portion, and then I actually rasp the surface of it to rough it up, so it'll actually pull and bend. So when you put the stitches in behind, it'll ultimately heal in that position.
Okay.
That's really
Wow.
cool.
Because in my mind, I was thinking it's like you were just turning the ear somehow and like literally like pinning it back.
That's why I get paid the big bucks.
Wow.
That's
and
so interesting.
And I think you had told me about how it's so funny that, I mean, because she's at Chilton and that you had someone come up and was like, Dr. Berlet, you did my ears years ago. Do you remember me? And you're like, I mean, like, again, her is a little 8-year-old.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, it's a
Age
little
to
different.
25.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the place, yeah.
Right.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, right?
Thank you.
Yes.
Grew up good.
And then do you remember, I guess she appreciates, because she had gone to you to talk about the scoliosis and she had a different breast size at the time. How did you know that they were going to change and that she didn't need surgery?
I don't know. I don't remember. I actually don't remember any of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I
is
think
that
those things you have to watch. I mean, certainly when you're still evolving, because scoliosis goes on for years until you're fully grown.
and so because she was saying that basically, I mean, you knew that her body was going to continue changing, and
Yeah,
so
it's a good bet.
right,
Yeah.
excellent. And so, like, would you, for people who get their ears pinned, is 8 a good age, or
Well,
is there a specific time that
yeah.
you think?
It's a balance between the growth and then you have social interaction.
Okay.
So around 6, 7 years old, if the other kids start noticing it and start teasing you about it.
Because you said that was a popular age, is like that
Yeah,
young
that's
age.
when we like to do it because it sort of precludes the further harassment.
I see.
And at the same time, the head and the ears have grown enough that they don't halt the growth of the ears, and they have little micro ears.
Right.
So,
I know.
Yeah. So when it comes to like determining that, that you won't stop growth, how do you go about that?
Right, because don't the nose and
Like I
the
said,
ears
once again,
continue to grow?
They do, but it's a just general accepted age because of that whole process. It's the balance period where it's like, okay, maybe you're 90% grown. It's not going to have that much effect ultimately.
So you're 90% your ears are grown at age 8?
6 to 8.
6 to 8. But then it's just, wow. But then I would feel like the ears should look like bigger or something, proportionally, and then you grow into your ears. No, I don't know.
I'm worried about that.
You're
We'll
not,
go into it.
because your height is your height 90%? Like, I have to think about proportions. Your height isn't 90% at that, right? No, so
How about your head growth?
okay.
the head growth
The head
is.
growth, okay.
Because does your head stop growing? Your skull stops growing at age 12?
For girls, after a couple years after their menses,
Okay.
most of the growth is complete, but it's not complete. But most of it is.
Okay.
So we'll consider noses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
After 2 years after menses,
Okay.
probably still better to push it a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can get away with that.
Yeah.
Wait, and then you made a comparison between the 8-year-old and an old man. Is that a thing? Because do the men, after they lose their hair, then they notice their ears? Or?
No, man, just wusses.
Oh, okay. But
Working in healthcare myself, they are the worst.
I don't know. They tend to be babies, hypochondriacs, like they're the worst, patients, right? But I mean,
I'm not a good patient. I'm like, oh.
but so then but have you had men? You said old men. Like,
yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
Do you think is that because of hair loss? Is that
No.
why, or no?
No, I mean, you can look at,
They just finally decide to do it at a later age.
I like Marco Rubio, but look at the size of his ears. It's like, holy cow. Yeah, it's
You're like, let me
crazy
fix
thing I've
those.
ever seen,
You're like, come see me.
Right.
But some people just address it later.
Okay.
It's just
whenever you.
just from
it
families. I
bothers
mean,
you.
I have
Yeah.
friends who's 1 ear's out and 1 ear's back. Like, why don't you fix that?
Right.
Stephen Gobert. Another
Okay.
one. 1 ear's out here, one's back. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Anyway, well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
and great job. And I love it.
Thank you so much.
This is going to be our first baby before, adult after.
It's super cute. It's super cute to see it.
I know, and
9 years later.
it's so. I love the story, and I love the story with your sister, and I love that you guys ran into each other in the hospital.
Thank you.
So, cheers. It's dry January, so we're drinking apple cider.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time. We have more stories, more transformations, and more Dr. Berlet.